Welcome back to our community. Susie Thomas visiting with Julie Schultz, visiting and laughing with Julie Schultz here because she's just a barrel of fun. And she also is the printer. No, you are the publisher of the Outreacher Christian newspaper. Editor.
Salesperson.
Yes. The hub of it.
I am the hub.
And the organizer of the Outreacher. Sometimes it's just fun finding out how the sausage is made. So take us behind the scenes. Tell us, like, your typical, if you have one, day. It sounds like you're getting information from a lot of places and pulling it all together. And then I know I'm getting to see you at the time when this is all about to go to press. So it's,
right.
Thank you for
You're
being
welcome.
here.
It's my pleasure. I was nervous, but this is good.
See, you're not now.
No,
so not a bit.
I'm not nervous now.
So back to the sausage. Tell us a little bit about how does this happen, Julie?
It all happens in my office, in my home. That's where it's all organized.
That's perfect.
And everything is emailed down to Christy Bloom. And like I said before, she makes it beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then Midwest Offset prints it. And I load up my red HHR. Please pray for its suspension system.
Okay. All right, that's on the prayer list. And then your volunteers deliver it to 150 different churches?
150 different churches, roughly 150 different businesses.
Wow.
And I can't thank them enough.
When you think about the future of the Outreacher, do you think ahead of what would be next? Or I'm seeing the look on your face, and I think it says, I'm just trying to get through today, Susie.
Exactly, Susie. I don't know the future. Mm-hmm. None of us do. I don't. I just take it a day at a time, and I think with as many smiles and as many giggles and as many, oh, that was a God moment.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. And just step by step, as it has been.
Yes.
Instead of looking ahead, let's look back a little bit. Would you have guessed 11 years ago that this is where you would be 11 years later?
I don't even think I looked forward back then.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been that type of a person because I don't want to have something set in my mind and I get rerouted either by God or by myself. So I just go with the flow, as trite as that sounds.
It doesn't sound trite at all. I think it sounds inspired, and you wait for inspiration, and then you move from that point. Because what you're doing really is being a messenger to a very specific Christian community about things that are important and interesting to that community. I've worked for Christian organizations all my life. Love them. Love the fellowship. Love the fact that you're able to move forward with a common goal with people who are, believers, and that you're working together. However, the entire New Testament was practically all written to churches who were having problems.
Right.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we are human beings that have been given this enormous Great Commission to carry on. So you, my dear, are working entirely with not just one, but a whole bunch
Many of them.
Christian organizations.
And I believe through the help of several dear friends, I have learned to show grace and to show mercy, not get so easily frustrated, because this is where God has put me, and He's making my world a much lovelier place by the people that He has put in my world, along with Him drawing me closer. And as far as working with mostly all Christian people, it's a lot different than selling industrial chemicals like I did back in the 90s.
Yeah. For other folks who might be in a similar position, tell us about navigating when you are working with fellow believers. How do you navigate that?
Well, I think it should be done the same way as with non-believers. I think your light has to shine no matter who you're talking with.
Yeah. Nice. Very good. We're talking with Julie Schultz. She is a publisher of the Outreacher Christian newspaper and taking us a little bit behind the scenes of what's going on. Highlights of the last 11 years. What sticks out in your memory?
Oh boy, you're asking someone that doesn't have much of a memory. Thanks a lot, Susie.
It's all right. There's got to have been some
just the fact. Oh, there's been loads of fun, but what I love is working through the panic and coming out on the other end each month. I mean, every print evening when I pick up the papers the next morning, it's like Christmas. So I kind of get Christmas 12 times a year.
Wow.
But the days prior to Christmas is filled with like, oh my gosh, am I going to get it all done? You know, having the final article put in, the final ad, the final change on the final community news, all those last minute things. And Christy Bloom and I have learned to really have fun with it. And we laugh and joke, and we have a Facebook conversation running as we're finishing up the paper. And it's just such a blessing working with her.
Yeah. Yes, because you've got that fellowship and one goal in mind.
Yes.
And a mission
Yes.
in mind. It's awesome. I know there are folks who are listening thinking, why am I not advertising in this thing? So tell us what's involved. How does a person get on board?
Well, if you'd like to advertise in the Outreacher, please give me a phone call. The number is 330-827-1603. Or you can email me at The Outreacher, just the name of the paper, The Outreacher, @hotmail.com. And we do have a pledge of faith that we ask our advertisers to sign because we want our community to know that you run your business as you feel God wants you to run it. And yes, we're always looking for new advertisers. And I promise I won't take up much of your time if you'd invite me into your business, and we can see how the Outreacher can help you.
And if they don't have a ready-made ad, you would help them, or Christy would help
Christy
them?
Bloom will be more than happy to create an ad for you.
Perfect. Let's
Yes.
break this down a little bit to the features that are involved in the Outreacher. You started doing puzzles and fun things as well. So what will we find in any one given edition? What will we find? Oh, look, you brought some with you.
Yep. And we still have some of our May edition on the stands and in the churches. So if you haven't picked up the May issue, it's still out there for you. We have a crossword puzzle. We have a kids page.
Oh, how fun. Who does that for you?
We have a lady by the name of Diana Perry. She has created all sorts of kids puzzles, and I'm trying to find it here. Susie's looking. Here we go. We have a kids page. We have specific pages with ladies events, men's events, the youth events. The June issue will be including all of the Vacation Bible School information
goodness.
that we've been given.
That's wonderful.
And
just having a directory of all the VBSs in town, that's going to be valuable
Yes.
to our
Yes.
listening audience.
Definitely.
Awesome.
We also have a financial, what's the word I want? A financial
Advisor?
Advisor, yes. We have Neil Clemens from Covenant Financial, and he writes a financial column every month, and that's very helpful. He's also been a very long time advertiser.
This is loaded with good information. And again, I'm just flabbergasted that there's no charge for the reader.
Exactly. It's free.
Now, what kind of
It's free.
what kind of prices are we talking about as far as advertising in it, Julie?
We have advertising that starts as little as $25.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it goes all the way on up to $350 for a full page.
A full page
A full page.
for something that sits in your room, really in your house, in your living room for a month.
A month, yes.
For $350.
It's a full month. So we're talking $10 a day for a
That's-
full page. Did I do the math right?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that is amazing.
And an awful lot of times people will look at the Outreacher, they'll read every page of it, and they'll see an article and they'll think, oh my goodness, so-and-so really needs to read this. So it gets passed on.
Yeah.
And I feel that they don't lose their timeliness because of the articles.
Right. Like you just said, you can still get a copy of the May edition probably in your church. So if you want to see last month's, it's still there. Check out those articles.
Right.
And the new one, by the time this airs, probably is going to be sitting right beside the May ones, right?
Right.
Julie, over the years, most challenging part about doing this is what?
Trust in God.
And here's, you know what? You're going to say the exact same thing when I ask you what's been the best part about this.
Trust in God.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Isn't that something? Why? Why do you say that?
Because He's there for me no matter what I do, and I can't. Oh, you have me stumped now. I remember years ago, people asked me, what's the best and what's the worst? And it was the whole accountability thing. If I'm representing a Christian newspaper, there's some things I need to straighten up on. But then on the other side, what's the best? Okay, the best and the worst is the whole accountability thing.
Yes.
And for some reason now, all of a sudden, instead of the accountability thing, which I guess I'm growing in the Lord if that's not my answer, but there's still the whole thing about trusting God that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah. And you have seen that.
Yes.
And we have not even gotten a chance to talk about something that you're very passionate about, and that is being able to, the exchange students.
Yes.
In our last minute.
Oh, goodness.
Tell us about that.
Okay. In addition to the Outreacher, I also work for an organization called Nacelle Open Door, and I find homes for foreign exchange students. I've been doing this for the last 5 years, and it's just a beautiful experience finding good, loving homes for these foreign students to spend the school year with, or to spend 3 weeks in the summer. Please give me a phone call. I would love to talk to you more about that program.
That's awesome. Give the number again, please.
330-827-1603.
Julie Schultz, thank you so much for joining us in our
Thank you,
community.
Susie Thomas.